Hey everybody, it's Bus with Battles with Bus number 243, and today we're doing battle with Ahshan Varus. And so, Ahshan Varus, it's been around for a bit. It was certainly around in the previous patch, Varus making his mark on the world with his big bow-based OTKs, along with his ability to play the Unforgiving Cold. Not the newest style of deck coming directly out of the Darkened Saga World Ender, but it did get a bit of representation at Worlds. I believe 3 of the 16 players were playing Ahshan Varus, and it does give us some fantastic tools to deal with a lot of the popular decks in the current meta. The current boogeyman of the format is going to be the Ziggs-based Acolytes deck, the big fearsomes, landmarks dudes, and this has a great toolkit to be able to get out in front of that deck and have a successful strategy. And so if you want to take a quick peek at all of our units, they are mostly capable of interacting with a fearsome. The Bakais all the way down tend to have 3 attack, and so they're able to not just set up these boards to where it's like, oh, I can't do anything. Your game plan is completely churning and rolling, and I can't interact with it in any ways. And so, first and foremost, we have a good unit suite that's capable of interacting with the opposing fearsomes, but we have many more capabilities beyond just the size of our units. The main card to pay attention to is going to be the Unforgiven Cold. If this is able to prevent just like 14 damage, that's great. But even better is if you're able to, say, have your opponent attack you with 3 fearsomes, you Unforgiven Cold 2 of them, and then get to at least win one of those combats against the Frostbitten units. Just a very fantastic card in the face of all of those incoming fearsomes. And then on our turn, we don't want to just be defensive the entire time. We have lots of ways to make, very strong attacks into those fearsome-based units. And so Merciless Hunter here is ready to distribute the vulnerables, along with Ahshan, Sivir, and Shadowblade Fanatic, able to get some quick attack challenges. And so not just offensively, or not just defensively natured against the deck, we have a lot of offensive tools against it as well. And so very powerful stuff, strong things there. Boogeyman number 2 of the format is, of course, going to be all of the champion strength-based decks. And this is another place to where the Unforgiven Cold can really shine. It has the opportunity to, not shut down those full boards. If your opponent's coming at you with 6 units off of the champion strength, then, you've lost that one. But if they aren't living in Magical Christmas Land, if they're only coming at you with, say, 3 or 4 of the boosted units, then the Unforgiven Cold is quite strong there, and has the potential to stop you from getting completely OTK'd, especially if you get to take down 2 of the units in the process. But otherwise, we have the Rite of Negation as our other way to kind of interact with the champion's strength. And so, outside of just those 2 decks, with those 2 things out of mind, if you will, we have this nice, strong, powerful collection of units, lots of quick attacks happening between our Ahshans, our Sivirs, our Varuses, lots of great targets for the likes of the Swinging Glaive. We can get doubled up attacks with things like the Ranger Knight Defector. Very powerful just collection of units outside of all those synergies that we get against the 2 popular decks of the format. And so this is really strong, really balanced, a really nice collection of cards. I like decks like this because in the sense that if you say, okay, I really want to beat the Acolytes deck, and you come out and you design this really powerful and strong strategy, your deck has an 80% win rate against Acolytes. That's pretty great, right? But then it's just complete dog shit against everything else in the format. That's not really a great place to be in. But this deck, it has a lot of just natural resilience and strength against that deck. It doesn't have to really exert itself to be good against it. And then it just has this really solid game plan against everything else, right? We're playing high-quality units. We have some combat tricks for those units. We have a collection of removal spells. We have a bit of interactivity. We have a lot of value generation between Ahshan and the Swinging Glaive and the various card draw. And so it's just, at its core, just a good deck, but then it's also quite strong against the 2 main decks of the format. And so, has me excited. I hope you're excited too. Let's get ourselves ready for battle. And so, the first part in getting yourself ready for battle, you must go and pay the pay-to-win price. And we got our friend here, Shadowblade Fanatic, ready to catch the premium treatment. This guy is the kind of tech card, I feel like, in terms of the the matchup against the Acolytes, having a unit that generates another unit that can both block the Acolytes, being able to have a secondary source of quick attack challenges to use with our Merciless Hunters. I've been fairly happy with this guy and his ability to give us that value and then have some pretty good game against the Acolytes. So, welcome to Premium Land. Oh, stuff's happening? All right, I'm happening now. Let's get this going. Ahshan Varus jumping into the games. Pulse Fire action, Arc Light, Varus, and then normal Sivir. She has not been granted a skin. But all right, up against the old the Acolyte deck right from the start. I think we'll hang on to this momentous choice. We should, pick up a equipment at some point here in the early game. But I want to say, like, if we get the opportunity on turn 5 to action hook a Ziggs, then we'll be in the space to have the combat tricks. Or even if that doesn't come together, if it's just a matter of trying to put a hook on a smaller Acolyte, then maybe we get the 3 health kill with just the single momentous choice. All right. Not quite ready for the Merciless Hunter. Opponent doesn't have any units, but we have a pretty strong collection of attackers ready to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and lead in with the Shape Strength. I would prefer to be giving this guy +2 health with the momentous choice. So if he has a Pokey Stick in the upcoming turn, we would just be kind of naturally prepared for it, but haven't picked up an equipment yet. Whoopsies. Maybe one day we'll pick up an equipment. Maybe one day. Does this find it for us? It does have an equipment in here in the Swinging Glaive. I think I'm okay with it. If we want to drop it next turn, we can. It still has a pretty good target with the Shadow Blade Fanatic. Okay, I'm on board. Like, he's most certainly going to come in and hook the action this turn. If we get a trade with the momentous choice getting involved, I think that's fine. But let's see what happens. There's the Pokey Stick. A little unfortunate. This is what I was talking about on the previous turn. I really wish we had the +2 health so that we could dodge the Pokey Stick on this turn. So it looks like, oh, whoa, fam. I did not expect him to let action just kind of do whatever he wants. Interesting. So where are we dropping the Swinging Glaive? I don't want to get over involved with action, right? But I think the heal for him is probably just too strong right now. Not today, fam. Not today. Give me them level ups while I'm at it, please. Give me some of that absolution, bruh. Alright, and then this is going to be a fairly easy hook. Okay, opponent just quits. With action onto the unit, right? You could kind of say, well, what if I want to hook with the Shadow Blade dude, right? Get that good quick attack challenge in there. The opponent still has the opportunity to make whatever block they want onto action, and so I think we should just get the guaranteed good one, and then give him the opportunity to trade into our 3-2 if he wants. But all right, not a bad start. Not a bad start. Victory was achieved. W attached to bust. All right, lurkers. Why do people still play this deck? Have you ever encountered anyone over the course of your lifetime where they were like, man, I had fun playing lurkers today? You're right, you haven't. You haven't. So let's just pick up our early game stuff. The typical strategy you have against lurkers is you want to just do whatever you can to keep their dudes off the board. If you ever get the opportunity to have them start a turn without a unit, then it's fantastic, right? If he wants to make a trade here, that's great. I know our deck doesn't have the opportunity right now to come down and stop what he's doing, but imagine that now he's made that trade, he plays a unit, and then we have a Mystic Shot for that unit, and he doesn't get to attack. He's just behind for the remainder of the game, and so just a great potential for opportunity there. Okay, he hits his lurk. Not surprised coming off of the predict, but I'm leaning towards just the Fanatic now. I don't want to have to play the combat tricks onto action this turn, because then we just don't have any follow-up plays, right? The action isn't the most important thing that we have in the world right now, and so building up our board a little bit with the Fanatic just feels nice, man. Feels good. And equipment makes an appearance. A wild equipment has appeared. I think I am on board with that. Lets us protect our action from all of his units now. We're going to take like 4 on the turn. That's not so bad. Okay, and then our Fanatic's gonna die to whatever. We could consider if we had a Merciless Hunter or something, we could try and keep the Fanatic around, but just not a part of our arsenal at the moment. And let's pass. There's a world where we need to Absolver this Night Ranger Defector, and so let's hold back on getting these units on the board for the moment. All right, not a bad block. Oh, has he got Pike? Are you getting piked right now? God, I hate that card so much. Hate it so much. All right, though. Nice board clears. Nice clears. I think we want to... There's the Pike. I think we want to hang on to our Ephemerals just as a means to have the blockers for next turn. Maybe not. If we're never going to have a good block on Pike, let's just get our dude equipped. Oh, I don't have the mana for this thing now? That's unfortunate. Still coming in strong, though. What does this thing do? When you summon a champion, destroy me, give it 2/1, and spell shield. Okay. I don't think we really want any of these. You do have to worry about like some things like a blood in the water to get a rally or a bone skewer. Maybe we need to take the Rite of Negation just to protect ourselves from Pike. There's the big Rek'Sai. So we don't have to worry about too much now. Did he predict this turn? I'm curious if he's got the if he's got the means to flip the Rek'Sai. Because I don't want to give up our Waking Sands if I don't have to. Like, as it stands right now, we can Furious Wielder Pike, we can block the Hatchling with the Shadow Fiend, and then Rek'Sai just kind of goes away. She's guaranteed to get the +1 bonus. So much of this is going to come down to if he hits the lurk. He did. He didn't attack with his Fearsome, though, for whatever reason. That sounds like a mistake.
square.
Okay, see ya, Pike. It seems like we're in a decent spot. Just he did completely reload. We have to make the decision now for this turn if we're just going to go for the kill or not. We have reasonable ways to go for it, right? We have the Varus, we have the Absolver. That's 8 mana if we want to pass out the Overwhelm, and then the Momentous Choice to get us up to +2. I think that we're probably good. He's only got 5 health at the moment. That's like 4, 8, 10. Varus would get us up to 15. That is a little short. But are we really going to survive all the lurkers next turn? Probably not. So let's get the board clear now while we can. Right, so this is going to be... Oh boy, only adds a 1 health unit. We need to be lethal when we line this up, right? We can't just pass here and not have it. Because most certainly, if we attack here, an opponent sees that we're not going to lethal, he's just going to go, cool. You know, I gotcha. I see that attack, but I'm not doing anything about it. So. Is that enough? It says neg 15 into 13, so we'll dial to like a bone skewer, but that would have to be his top deck for the turn, right? The cards he has in hand are mainly just lurkers that he just added. So I think we're good. He makes a face palm. Sorry if you made a boo-boo, made a little whoopsies. But it was enough for us to achieve victory. Go me, go bust. Have you all checked the player rankings on ftpbust.com? Says the #1 player in the world is FTP Bust. I'll save you a click right there. It's like the old Zuckerberg saying, "What's the best social media source in the world? The metaverse, right?" Of course, he's not going to say something else. All right, though. Fresh battles, some kind of Ionia-based Seraphine deck. Well, these are typically based on Victor, right? It's 3 Victors, 2 Karmas, 1 Seraphine. She's not a real serious component to the deck. But I do want to still try and come out with some early game interactivity. Ideally, every single game that you play, you're gonna start with action. And so if you don't know what you're doing, you don't really know how to mulligan, just mulligan for action. You know, he's the real deal, the reason that a lot of this deck really gets itself going. So we'll skip over those predicts. We could have picked up the Varus, but we need a cheap dude. Something to threaten at least a little bit of aggression. I think I'm fine with the Hunter. It does like... It sucks to a degree, right? If we want to get the Swinging Glaive going next turn, then we're going to be a mana short. But if we're just passing back and forth here, that's just going to play so much more into our opponent's game plan that it doesn't feel awesome. So I feel like moderately okay just like slamming Varus down at this point, right? We still have another one in our deck. We haven't done any of the cultist stuff. So if we add more cultists to the board, we'll still get to draw the other Varus. It's just... I want to focus in a little bit more on this Night Ranger having tough, since our opponent's going to be coming at us with a lot of damage-based removals. Like having him drop and just get aftershocked isn't going to feel that good. I want it to feel good, yo. Swinging glaives everywhere. All right, get some of that scout stuff going. Who's gonna have more keywords now? Oh, Victor, what do you think of that? Uh-oh. He's already bringing death rays onto Varus. Interesting. Why? Why would he do that? Well, that's all I got for that. I give it a Interesting. All right, though. Slamming in tough with the Defector. Ooh, just back alley bar is it? Can we just win the game this turn? Huh. We can kill one of the units. We're super far away from flipping Varus, but we can like Furious Wielder the Victor. It's gonna give us access to another lucky find. Let's start doing stuff. I don't think we'll be able to get the kill this turn. Let's just go ahead. I think we want Overwhelm. I could see an argument for picking up Quick Attack, but I think that's where we want to be. We can look to start putting things onto Varus now if we want. Free Deep Meditation's not bad. I give you that. Gotta be kidding me. You remember why people used to get so upset having to play against this dumb fucking deck? That. In what world are you supposed to be able to say, oh, okay, I'm ready to play around my opponent here only having 2 mana. I didn't suspect that he should be able to deep meditation into a free removal spell. Okay. Still feels like we're in a decent spot, but fucking A. That shit's dumb. I don't know where you all stand on the whole the whole Mega Mogwai leaving the lands of Runeterra to take on the world of Marvel Snap. I feel like in large part a big portion of his complaints about the game are exactly what has just happened in this match. So I get it. I understand. That shit's dumb. Let's see what happens now. I'm sure it will be something incredible. But no, he did put out an interesting video on his thoughts on his move over to Marvel Snap. Just a large amount of unhappiness, basically from Bandle City forward. And if you don't like what's happening with Bandle City in terms of all of the card generation and the manifests as an ability, and Bandle City kind of having the ability to do anything and everything, then it probably makes a lot of sense that you're not going to like anything that happens from that point forward. And he did make kind of an interesting point in that he felt okay with Celestials, the Invoke stuff, right? So if you have the Invoke cards drawing from a limited set of things, there's just, a limited set of stuff that you have to care about from that point forward. But when it comes to having to care about like literally every single card in the game, it becomes a bit too much. So I understand. All right, well, let's see where we get ourselves with this one though. If we pick up an overwhelm, I don't think we have the lethal. Oh, I thought we had quick attack again. I was getting off on a tangent, and then that's that started to cause problems. All right, well, let's see if we can do this without our scout unit. We should have momentous choiced through that. I got to talking and wasn't paying attention to our health total, and we should have tried to prevent that loss with the momentous choice. But we might still be able to pull off an OTK on the next turn. Our Varus has spell shield. We have a ton of stats we can pass out. If we find another unit, we can potentially throw the glaive down on it and stuff. We have some opportunities out here. $11. Okay. Another fresh dude. Looking at 13. Okay. $15 coming at us against P and Z. I'm not entirely certain the removal suite that this deck plays, how much we need to be out here worrying about the likes of a set of burn spells, but we have the right of negation if it really comes down to it. All right, though. See if we can draw a unit. Merciless Hunter. Let's get you that gift for Renekton. Bomb dropped, bro. We shouldn't have played that, right? How far is this going to go? 3 damage, 4 damage in total with 2 cards behind. I messed this up. We shouldn't have played the glaive. We needed to be able to play the absolver this turn. And so now we can still do all this. We just have to give up on having access to Rite of Negation. Alright, not dead now. Now, same deal as the last game. We need to be presenting lethal right here, which we are. And then we can try and come in and finish off with the absolver. Alright, it says neg 17 into 11. He's got some interactivity, then we're going to be dead, but we've got the lethal presented here. Again, we shouldn't have played that. We shouldn't have played the glaive, right? We could be sitting here on 4 mana loaded up with the Dark and Blood Letters ready to go onto Varus. And then, or we could have played the Dark and Blood Letters and been ready from there, but another another real gem we should have known to play around. But GG, got a little sloppy there. I can stop and talk now that the game's over. But yeah, it's like I feel like that was the main point of a lot of his problem, was that in the sense that if you go and look at a lot of the cards from Bandle City, that's where Manifest comes from. But even beyond Manifest, you start to see a lot of cards like Face Sprout, right? That lets you. I guess that is a Manifest card, but that's just where like all of the card generation really starts. It was a set that was very heavily set up to where the games were very, very big grind fests in the sense that every single card you were playing out of Bandle City generated another card. And if you're looking to, as kind of his, I don't want to call it his shtick, but the thing that he was really well known for and the thing that he seemed to really enjoy about the game was in a lot of the deck building. And as you play these games to where you develop a deck that has a cohesive game plan, right? I want to draw like this collection of cards in the early game. That's going to help transition me into the mid game to where I drop my build around card. And then in the late game, I have some kind of really cool finisher that really ties into all of that. And so if you want to say, put that in terms of, say, the Aurelian Soul ramp deck, right? In the early turns of the game, you're going to put your little ramp dude on the board. You're going to play your Catalyst of the Aeons. In the mid game, you're going to play your big engine build around card and Mount Targon or Targon's Peak, whatever it's called. And then your late game finisher is whatever expensive dude you have that gets reduced in cost by the Targon's Peak, right? That's a very cohesive and fluid deck building plan. But if you start to build a deck that is now just, I play Conchologist, right? Conchologist comes down and generates a card and it replaces itself with another card that hopefully does something, right? And then I play another Manifest card. I play another build around. Like, this isn't a strategy, right? This is just putting cards on the board that provide pure value. And if you want to even compare that to a deck, say, like Elites, right? Elites, it is a kind of engine deck, a big build around strategy. It's just putting stats on the board, right? But that's a looking to take advantages of reinforcements or looking to take advantages of Battlesmith, right? And so it's a little bit more to it than just putting stats on the board. But a lot of those cards out of Bandle City, it was not a cohesive strategy. It was just value, 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 and that's not a deck building strategy. That's just playing good cards. And so, like, I could see that ultimately being really frustrating from his point of view. As the new set comes out, the big hype period for your channel, the time that he's making his living is just kind of infested by, well, you're just going to play Conchologist in every single deck, right? You're just going to play all the Manifest cards in every single deck because they're overtuned at the moment, and that's what's good. And so I definitely understand with his point of view with things not getting better from that point forward. And then I have to imagine the Seraphine meta was the nail in the coffin. As much as I've hated it for a different collection of reasons, this idea of the cards that I've put in my deck don't matter as much as the cards that have been generated in the cards in my deck. Ultimately super frustrating from a deck building perspective, in that it's like I didn't build some kind of neat deck to take advantage of Seraphine. I just put Fan Club President in here with Seraphine. They're both giving me some value generation, and then if the game goes to turn 9, I'll win with Ezreal. It's not like I picked and chose like this really unique and great collection of 15 different spells to take advantage of the Seraphine, right? I didn't choose to play like 3 Mystic Shots and then 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1 and 1. Like, that's not the deck building decision that's being made. The deck building decision being made is, oh, I'll put Fan Club President in my deck and I'm just out here generating cards and stuff. I've got this back alley bar out here. Maybe it'll generate something cool. It's not really a deck building exercise, a deck building strategy. It is just putting value cards in the deck. And so I get it. From my perspective as a content creator, I couldn't decide which is kind of better in terms of bringing views to the channel. What I always hoped for and what I always thought and had great ideas with is that if you're a Mega Mogwai viewer, you're only watching his channel for like an hour out of the day, right? When he's doing YouTube stuff, that was it. Right? If he's streaming, then he's there for like 4 hours or something. You can really devote a lot of your time to that. But if you have 4 hours a day to be watching streamers and ingesting Legends of Runeterra based content, then if his content ran out, you might find yourself moving over to mine, right? But if he's just playing Snap all the time, nobody's going to be watching Marvel Snap and then say, I want to go watch this random Legends of Runeterra streamer. And so I feel like it was at least in terms of the channel for me, was a pretty big net loss having him go. given that those snap followers are never going to come back, to where if they a Runeterra follower was bored, they might come in and follow and find the channel, and so it's tough. I hope he's doing well though. He was definitely a big influence on the game, and a big influence on the metas. As you know, the stuff that he put together was typically more on the casual end of the spectrum, things that you would see in the normals, but I would definitely be doing some ladder grinding and see what would be a Mogwai based deck just over and over again on the ladder, and so he definitely had his. Oh, we're dead, aren't we? We'll have to. Have we equipped yet? No, we haven't hit a unit. It's like we're gonna get champion strength next turn. I think this is still okay though. He plays the champion strength, and then we get to Varus into it. This is exactly what I was talking about in the bit earlier, as to where, you know, if he has the full 6 units with the champion strength, we're just going to lose the game. But in this space, to where we get to Unforgiven Cold out 2 of the units, we don't have to just completely get smoked by an unreasonable amount of damage here. Okay, so there's that piece.
There is no forgiveness. Hey.
So we just take 6 at the end of the day. I was kind of curious if we would be able to come in and actually take down the Steadfast Elkin. Like, that's the unit that I would like to see go, but it's not going to quite come to fruition. Okay. And a grappling hook. Oh, let's see what the Defector can do. We need to get a bit of a turnaround on this board if we can. If he wants to drop like 4 Demacia this turn, that's a great win for us. But if he's just adding dudes, it feels like a very big win.
They appeared out of nowhere.
Looks like he might just be adding dudes. He doesn't have barrier till he challenges. Okay. So, like, what do we want to look and do here? We can attack with everybody, but that doesn't that doesn't quite get us to lethal, right? That's like 6, 10, 12. It's barely there, but he can just block with a single small guy. I'm kind of curious if we like want to pop the palace for additional damage. So we'd have to like preemptively shape stone. I don't like it. He at least has to block 1. He realistically needs to be blocking like 2 or 3. But let's see how he takes it. And with Varus out here, if he only blocks 2, there is a very reasonable chance that Varus just lets us get to an OTK. We have 6 damage in hand if Varus goes unblocked.
Look at them shaking in their boots.
Look at them shaking in their boots, bro. Is that it? This is a dangerous block on Ahshan, since he's most assuredly flipping in this combat, right? We have a 1-tick Warlord's Palace. I would not recommend a block onto Ahshan. We're short of the lethal here, though. Right, we can't flip Varus. This is why I'm curious. Like, it's just so much more obvious what you have going on if you try and pop the palace before combat, right? And so, I mean, maybe we should have just gone for it, but if he has the champion strength next turn, you know, we're dead. But if he's only got a 4 Demacia, then we have some opportunities to respond. We still get this predict draw as well. We have a lot of great choices. None of these are them. We'll just skip on this. We're looking for another Frostbite or for a Rite of Negation. Sure. Bakai time. What you got for us? Momentous choice, not the cards we're looking for. Okay. Oof. Oof. That's the stuff right there. Welcome to the FTP bust, Barty, my friend. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get started with this momentous choice. I want to get a takedown on this challenger unit. That's the only one that really frightens me at the moment. And then I guess the fresh question after that is if... Oh, he can't afford Demacia anymore, right? He's already spent all of his cards. Interesting. Okay, let's just let it go. I don't think we have to grappling hook here. He's got another thing. Okay. So he's gonna potentially get one good hook with the Vanguard Sergeant, but we can Unforgiving Cold out of half of this, right? The Unforgiven Cold will hit the Vanguard Sergeant, and then I'm not sure who it hits between the Squire or the Elite. This would be a cool place if we could, I wish you could kind of like hold control so you could see where your burst spells are going to hit, but that's not the way it works. So we can just let the Vanguard Squire through. Now I'm looking to boost our Night Ranger Defector so that it survives this Elkin. We'll be losing action in the process. Is that okay? I don't think we can kill with Varus next turn. I do like that we still have the grappling hook in hand. It's like we're 1 mana short of being able to pull off all the good stuff. Now we can Chains of Corruption, right? To give action a bonus attack and then take down the Vanguard Sergeant. That lets us go into the next turn with both the hook and the momentous choice. I think that's where we want to be.
The world won't save itself, you know.
Oh, I didn't realize that was going to happen. What a bummer that... Oh, hang on. That's just the Chains of Corruption. I thought we were doing a cultist draw onto our Varus, and we were getting like this fleeting Varus in our hand. I was like, the fuck is that? Where is that nonsense coming from? But okay, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad. So let's see how we can continue on with this. We do need to take down some of this stuff. Like, we definitely have to worry about opponents playing these 4 Demacias and having the big collection of stats on board. But we do have some just decent opportunities for blockers here. Like, I'm leaning towards, say, like, what if we just open attack? He has to block. Let's see. Maybe we can take it down this way. We have this Waking Sands, right? So we can Waking Sands, see if he plays a unit. If he just comes in and plays 4 Demacia, then we know. Like, we know how much stats we need to hit. We just need to put +1 attack on the Bakai with the Bloodletters, and then double Momentous Choice Varus, shoot something down with Grappling Hook, right? We've got it at that point. If he plays another unit, then we can take a different angle. But as it stands right now, this gets us close to the lethal. maybe gets him to kind of bait out of 4 Demacia. We'll see. Interesting. He says, F you, bro, I'm not doing anything. Oh shit, we're gonna pop the Warlord's Horde as well. Beautiful, beautiful. That'll let us get an extra unit. Okay, big enough to shoot through a sharp sight as well. I don't know about you, but I dig it. GG. Alright. Alright. Mark it a W for bust. Did I mark that wrong? That was win number 3. Okay. Oof. I thought that was going to be an Elusives version of the deck, to where we played the Elusives version of Champion Strength a couple videos ago. And just did not like any of the champions in it, right? I just wanted to have maximum Elusives. I wasn't really expecting elites to be coming out of that, but that was interesting. Right, reasonable enough start though. We got our 1-drop into action. We're up against the Ziggs Acolytes deck again. Okay, we'll probably try to get 2 more games in here. I know I went on a large Mega Mogwai related tangent, but I've at least got to cover off on a couple of the matches that I wanted to see. We got to play against this deck once. We're on it twice now, and we got to play against a Champion Strength deck, and so that was the big things that I was really shooting for here. All right, then I wanted to pick up the Merciless Hunter. We're going to have these opportunities for quick attack challenges between the Varus and the action that's on board. And so if we get the opportunity to vulnerable one of these things next turn and then take it down with a quick attack challenge from Varus and then take down the next one with the Merciless Hunter blocking, that just all sounds really choice to me. He is going to get it up to 3 health right now, which is kind of a pain. We're not guaranteed to be able to get a takedown with Varus before the unit comes online, but I'll definitely feel good if we get the opportunity here. It seems like we should. He doesn't have any landmarks to drop an Acolyte right now. He might find himself just having to say drop the bomb action so that he has something to do before the combat starts. Okay. Good job, Varus. Look at that. Pulse Fire action, Arc Light Varus, all the stuff anyone could ever need for success. Hashtag turn 'em prismatic. Got any equipments in here? Nope. Skip over that. I guess we could have taken the Furious Wielder, but not exactly what I'm looking for. I do need to remember that we have played an equipment because of the Varus, but there were no Darken in there, so we couldn't have boosted up the Bakai. Okay. Well, let's see what we draw next turn before we get too invested in this. We can still, like, Unforgiven Cold stuff if we need to. And so you can kind of see where the idealness of these combats would come in. If he's attacking us with 2 of these Ruinous Acolytes, we hit them with the Unforgiven Cold. And then if we had, say, like a Shapestone or something, and we got to Shapestone action, block both of his units, take them both down. Just a really nice nice combat that you can send towards these things. Alright, what you got for us, deck? Night Ranger Defector. Not exactly what we were looking for. This is a fairly garbagey set of attacks. I think he's as good as we're gonna get, though. We don't have to attack with it, but I want to get it on board. It's like we're not in the spot to where we really want to be killing off this Endless Devout. We need to just stall out for a little bit. But our cards all kind of suck. Give me some of them cards that don't suck, yo. I wonder if he ever passes it back to us. Why would he do that? It would have to just be combat trick related. This deck doesn't usually play combat tricks, though. Its interactivity suite is typically 3 pokey stick, 3 drop the bomb. Ah, man, we just need like a little touch of unit boosting, and we can do so much. It's starting to slip away. Starting to slip away. Come on, deck. Give me something good. Well, the Unforgiven Cold isn't terrible, but it's not really helping us where we need it. We just dead here? Not just dead, but this doesn't feel good. Sure. Okay. We can block some of this stuff, but man, does that not feel bad? Look at how terrible this is. How do we win this one? We need just a big overwhelm play through Varus. I don't think we have it. We can absolve her here now, though. So we need a champion flip, which is going to be through action. So we need to play 2 chains. Vulnerable onto you. One of my favorite rap lyrics of all time. I got 2 chains, 4 bracelets. Let me see that ass clap. Standing ovation. I love 2 Chains. He says so much dumb shit. Oh, it's so funny. It's so good. Alright. +1 attack. Now, the thing that I'm about to mess up is... Oh, we're still okay. We're still okay. I was going to say, the thing that I'm about to mess up is... We can't attack the Ruinous Acolyte with our Night Ranger Defector. It's going to die in combat. We need to hit Endless Devout first. Is he going to play fucking Quicksand? We went through all that work to have this awesome play and get the kill, and he's going to have a Quicksand? Come on. Come on. We picked this one up out of nowhere. You all see the beauty in this attack, right? We're going to get this 8 Overwhelm here, and then we're going to have 10 Overwhelm through the Acolyte. Varus ready to do... Oh, he's got the pokey stick for his own unit. Okay, okay. F. Is he still short, though? If we... He's only got 4 blockers, right? And he has to put 1 in front of the Night Ranger. So the Night Ranger's going to hit in for 3. So we're only presenting 6 damage on the turn. F. right? I'm not missing something here. He's got 4 blockers. He blocks here, 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 and here. That leaves 3 behind. 11 into 8 is 3, so we only hit for 6 damage. Okay. Nice pokey stick, though, man. Yeah, I'm glad that we found a path to victory there. That was pretty sweet. Oh, we just lost a unit, didn't we? Oops. Oops. But on this upcoming turn, we do have a ton of blockers now, though, right? We gave all of our units the +1 attack. That doesn't go away. So all 4 of our dudes can come out here and block. That might be enough to push us through. This keeper of the box is going to stick around. Alright, just give me that one shot, yo. Give me that chance. Opponent says, oh fuck, I didn't lethal again? I didn't lethal again? Bust brought that surprise hit in the previous game. Does he got another one in him? Oh, I hope so. I hope so. What can we got? This Varus is so close to flipping. Alright. I believe in you, my dude. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, that's scary. Ziggs is scary. If he blows up an equipment, we're gonna die. Uh-oh. I'm ready, though. I got my right of negation. Maybe we should have played the Treasure Seeker just to have a dude on board, but... He's got a fresh Acolyte in hand. It's gonna get us. Aye, GG. Whew. But I think that sums up the matchup quite well, though, right? Quite well. We were not victorious in that game, sure, but our draw was complete dog shit. Nothing about our draw was happening in the way we wanted it to, but we still completely took control of that game. We found a way to put a lethal on the board. There was Pokey Stick was his only way out of that game. And, you know, you can always make an argument. Maybe we had a way to get some targets in there a little bit differently. I don't know. But beautiful, right? Beautiful. That was, I'm sure opponent was not happy with, with how that game went and how easy things are supposed to be going and climbing with that deck. We definitely had some big shutdowns in there. All right, though. On to the last big one of the format, Katarina Gwyn. We will make this our last one. We're about to approach that hour mark in this, and so we gotta be mindful of your time as well. So let's see if we can't finish off with another exciting one.
Go get the shiny Dublin.
2 Chainz. I'm trying to think of the other. He has so many just great lyrics. You got a big booty, so I call her Big Booty. Like that's some really top-notch work that he's put forth. But I'm leaning towards. There was he rhymes diarrhea with IKEA. I love IKEA so much. The wife loves IKEA. I played the lyric for. She was not impressed, but. I think it's in the song with Chance the Rapper, whatever that one was, the big one. Chance the Rapper had a gigantic song. When would that have been? Maybe 4 or 5 years ago, and I think that's where it came from. So good. I'm glad he's got he's got a gig on Amazon on Thursday nights after the football game. He's making it. He's also got a YouTube channel where he just tries expensive shit. It has like ultimately a very clever name, like Expensive Shit with 2 Chainz. But if you want to see some of the absurdity of the world, watching 2 Chainz drink $100,000 bottles of water is right up in the era of completely absurd. But a lot of that stuff is kind of dumb. It's it's a lot of just putting like gold leaf on stuff, but he's got a good shtick going there. I enjoy it. All right, let's see if we can't focus in though. I've been doing a lot of talk about 2 chains right now, and so we gotta focus and see if we can't take this game down. So what I'm going to look to do, we put Sivir on top of our deck, and so what I want to have happen here is I want to get Sivir down next turn. I want to put the swinging glaive on her, keep our units just a little bit protected with this shaped stone, and then hopefully we can control this Katarina with the Furious Wielder, right? We're a little short of that angle here right now, but that's where I want to be going with this. Looks like we're gonna get what we're looking for. Surprised to see him tag action. I guess that means he has a Ravenous Flock. Like, why else would you just stun action here? He's not a great attacker. There it is. So he's got Katarina and 1 card, and then we have our removal spell ready for Katarina. Like, this is looking pretty nice. Let's see. Let's lucky find our friend over here to the left. Beautiful 0-2. I just wanted to find a way that would let him survive a Blade's Edge, so we don't have to play Shape Stone. We could have got +1/+1, +0, +2, or Tough. Let him get that survivability. Now we got a fresh blocker in Shadow Fiend. We'll wait until the combat starts before we try and take down the Katarina. And that was it. GG. Not a bad set of games. And so, yeah, we can pull this up a little bit more, talk about it for just another moment. I think that was a pretty good set of games. Again, we got to hit on the highlights of everything I wanted to see. We got to play against the Acolyte deck. We handled it pretty reasonably. You can see how strong all these quick attack challenges and the bigger sized units and the Unforgiven Cold all play exceptionally well into that match. We got to play a game against an iteration of the champion's strength. You again got to see how good the Unforgiven Cold could be. And then I guess one of the points we didn't really like super touch on in the aspects of playing those games is you do have a lot of predicts between the Forsaken Bakais and then the action landmarks blowing up. It gives you a lot of opportunities to come in and just dig for those cards, right? So if we know that opponent is about to drop the turn 5 or the turn 6 champion's strength, if we have access to Forsaken Bakai at that point, then we have opportunities to just kind of dig for it. Or if it's in the early game and you catch kind of a weird predict, you don't find one of the equipments you're looking for, it's not unreasonable to think that the Unforgiving Cold couldn't be quite good there. But again, you can definitely see how it can be strong in that match if you're able to get an early trade, get a quick attack challenge in, cut them down from a full board of 6 units to 3 or 4. Then the Unforgiving Cold just does absolute wonders in kind of shutting down that strategy. And then last but not least, we're just playing good cards, right? We have a lot of value in here. Our champions are strong. Everything is pretty good independently of everything else. We aren't just playing like half of a deck. We aren't playing something that falls apart if we don't draw the right half or the things in the right order. Even in some of those games to where we had the absolute shit tier early draws, we were able to pack a lot of heat in the mid game, even when things went wrong. And so, is this the absolute be all end all perfect versions of this list? No, I haven't played nearly enough games of this to send you that way. I can see arguments like playing 2 copies of Swinging Glaive instead of 3. Keeper of the Box is here. Shadowblade Fanatics are here. Do we even want Vicaran Vagabonds? Like, that's all questionable. Would we rather play 3 Furious Wielders instead of playing cards like Grappling Hook? I don't have all the perfect answers for that, but this deck, it does, have a good game against everything running around. And when you start to say things like that, you know that it has a lot of opportunity for mixing and matching and setting it up how you want it to look against a particular meta. And so if you're looking to be strong against the champion's strength, then play a third copy of Rite of Negation, right? Or if you want to have a little bit more interactivity, maybe you leave that grappling hook in and then play 3 copies of Furious Wielder, right? You have lots of options in here. I feel like you can kind of mix and match and flex some of these cards to have this fit the meta that you're seeing. And so, good stuff. I had fun with that. I hope you did too, because that is going to do it for us today. And so I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope you maybe learned a thing or two along the way and had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.